Rolling loads with wheelbarrows and a Rhino. Not using your wheelbarrow because it's just too hard to push? Indeed, we know the problem. Here, wet and muddy ground makes it exceptionally hard to push. We'll reload and see if we can get out of this rut. That was a bit frustrating. Now we'll transfer the load to another wheelbarrow that's better designed for hauling wood. The same load that was on the standard wheelbarrow makes a nice load for this wooden wheelbarrow. The load stays in place better, but still this makes for a full load for this wheelbarrow. Once again, it's tough to roll the load. The wheel just won't go through the rut in this direction. Time to get ourselves out of the rut again. Now let's transfer the same load to a two-wheeled Rhino. Will the two wheels make a difference? Well, they don't sink into the soft ground as much. But since the wheels are the same diameter as the wheelbarrow wheels, they don't really seem to go through the rut much better. Here the bulk of the load is positioned in front of the wheels to take the load off the operator's arm. This transfers more weight to the wheels, so it actually makes it roll a little bit harder. On ground like this, it would be better to put more of the load behind the wheels. Once again, we've dropped into that nasty rut. Enough of this. Let's throw down the workhorse surface and see if that makes a difference. The panels are just thrown down over the wet ground and over the ruts. They are loosely joined by self-aligning integrated connecting brackets. They bridge right over significant ground irregularities. If we were going to roll a lot of loads over this path, we would take a few minutes to pin the panels together. Here we've just left them loosely joined, and we'll see how the path performs. We'll try the two wheelbarrows in the Rhino with the same load we tried previously. That previous load was about the right capacity for the wooden wheelbarrow. It sure rolls far easier. Now let's try the standard wheelbarrow. Well, it's just not a good design for hauling wood. If we had installed a tapered edge at the beginning of the path, we probably wouldn't have lost the load. Well, this is quite nice. Now, where was that big rut I crashed into before? Let's try the same load on the Rhino and see how that performs. Wow, it rolls along even faster and easier. I think this is largely due to that extra weight in front of the wheels. The two wheelbarrows are loaded to their capacity, but the Rhino has a lot more room for a load. Let's put on almost 3 times the load we had on the wheelbarrows. The load is too much for the soft ground off the end of the path. We're really stuck. With the Rhino reloaded and back on the path, let's give it a roll. As you saw earlier, the ground under the path is far worse than it was at the end of the path. Even with this heavy load, the rolling is really easy. It would be even easier if the path had been quickly pinned together. We can't guarantee that any old wheelbarrow will roll better, but most will, even across lawns. You can find more information at workhorsegs.com.